It's time to get the latest on the action at the World Cup with James Vecina and Ruben Slachter. Hello to both of you. Joining me to talk about last night's games first. James, everything going really well for the co-hosts so far. That is Mexico, who've had a perfect start to their campaign.
Especially indeed for Mexico. 3 out of 3 for them. Couldn't get better. Their manager even is happy. Not an easy thing to do. Mexico, perfect start then for their campaign. Latest win coming against the Czech Republic. They'd already qualified for the knockout stage coming into it. And after a goalless first half, it was Mateo Chavez, Julian Quiñones and Alvaro Fidalgo who sunk their opponents there. The Czech Republic 3-0. No mercy at all. And they'll be playing a third-placed side again at the Azteca Stadium. Sometimes hard to please coach, as I mentioned there. Javier Higuera even called this a good night. Here he is.
It was a good night for us, but I did not like the first few minutes of the game. Did you see the Czech team approach our goalpost and their attempts on goal? After that, we adjusted our play and were able to score. And now we're going into the knockout stages. We have to adjust and then keep doing things little by little.
Ruben, 3 wins, not just 3 wins, 3 clean sheets as well from Mexico.
Yeah, they can go far.
Nothing better than that. How far can they go after what you've seen here?
Yeah, well, I think what the good thing for Mexico is, it's very strange to say, but they go a bit under the radar, even if they're the host. But as the focus is, everything is on the US and everything happening over there, that even Canada and Mexico, we're not talking that much about it. But if you now look at the games they played, okay, this is not the hardest group, let's be honest about that. But it's been very decent. They can play at home. Also
is that helping them? Because they've played twice at the Azteca Stadium. They're going to go back again.
Yeah.
And that is a pretty daunting stadium if you're going to go to it and be hosting another team.
Normally, the next round, they should have a weaker opponent. But then, okay, the round of 16 would be a clash probably against England in the Azteca Stadium. On the height, it will be hot. I think they have a real chance to go far, yeah. It's not a Mexican team also that we were used to see with a lot of stars or big names that we knew in Europe. It's more a team. And it seems to work out pretty well, yeah.
Yeah, definitely working out for them. In Group A also, South Africa saved their skin as they beat South Korea 1-0. Tupelo Maseko securing their first win so far after their previous draw and defeat. The win sees them take the 2nd spot and qualify for the knockout round for the first ever time in their history. There you have it, the rankings there in Group A. Bafana Bafana delivering then once they had their back against the wall. Really was a matter of that. South Korea, meanwhile, have been left waiting to see whether they can go through as a best placed 3rd team, but the Czech Republic are heading home. Without further ado, let's hear from South Africa's head coach Hugo Broos, whose side will be playing Canada in the round of 32.
I'm very proud of the performance of my team, and I think we gave an answer to all those big mouths of the last weeks that thought that we had to change something, of that told us also what we had to do. And let's hope we can have a good result. If it's not, it's not. I think what we did now already is a little miracle.
I mean, I say they're back up against the wall. It really was a matter of that. First game, disastrous. First game was against Mexico. They lost it. They had those 2 red cards in it. After that, they get a draw. Yet they've done it and they've written history. It just seems just so off script.
Yeah, and the reactions also of the players was fantastic. If you heard the goalkeeper Owen Williams, who was also talking about Hugo Broos, how much confidence he gives them, because now he's also playing quite low key, right? He's already saying, yeah, and if we lose, I mean, it's not a problem. But he manages to get the best out of those players. And yeah, we shouldn't forget how big of a result this is for South Africa going into the 2nd round. Historical. And yeah, just after that first game, it's a big achievement, and they deserve a lot of praise for how they reacted after that first game.
Difficult to predict anything coming up against Canada after that?
Yeah, well, I think that the issue for them is that if Canada, they play a very energetic football, it's just all 100k per hour for the whole game. That's not, I think, what is easy for South Africa to play against. Having said that, they have nothing to lose. So let's hope they will play if they have nothing to lose, and then why not?
Yeah, so good for co-host Mexico, good for co-host Canada, who qualified for the round of 32.
Absolutely. This despite losing their game against Switzerland, who held on after going 2 goals up in the second half. A beautiful goal, though, from Canada, whose Nathan Saliba flicked the ball over the defender to then deliver it for Prince David, who scored from a volley. Canada, who will, though, be having to leave their homeland for the next game against South Africa. A draw would have kept them in the country. But those are the results there. We've also got there Bosnia-Herzegovina 3-1 against Qatar. That's putting them in a comfortable position to qualify in their place with 4 points there. Qatar going home, and Canada, as well as Switzerland, take the top 2 spots.
Meanwhile, Brazil made the most of Scotland's defensive difficulties in Group C.
They really cost them, and from early on, that was, Scotland would have that would have really hurt them from early on. Just gone against any of their game plans in there, and that's taking a 3-0 win. Vinicius Jr. had a brace in the first half. He opened the score just 7 minutes in, a blunder from the defence. That before heading in another one just before half-time, meaning that Vinicius has scored in all 3 games played so far. Matheus Cunha made it 3 before being subbed, as starman Neymar made his first entrance in the World Cup. From the other side of the Atlantic, here's Selena Sykes.
After much speculation, Neymar made his return to the international stage, coming on for the last 15 minutes or so during Brazil's 3-0 victory over Scotland. It was the 34-year-old's first appearance in a Brazilian shirt since October 2023, and this is now his 4th World Cup. Neymar's role and whether or not he should have even been included in the squad by Carlo Ancelotti has been the subject of much debate among football fans. João Pedro from Chelsea, for instance, was left out of the squad at his expense. But Brazil fans in the stadium in Miami were absolutely ecstatic to see him come on in the 76th minute. 15 minutes or so isn't a lot of time to make an impact, but he did have a shot on target, and it has to be said that the game was already well put to bed. Brazil's all-time top scorer has struggled since tearing his ACL back in 2023, and he's been struggling with an injury to his right calf in the build-up to this World Cup, which saw him miss out on the first 2 group stage games. Ancelotti had hinted that he could be available and was available and could potentially be playing in this game after having performed in training all week. All questions will now be how much of a role he can have at this World Cup. Will he be able to play 90 minutes at some point during this competition as Brazil advance to the knockouts?
Neymar, can he make much of an impact there, do you think? On your side?
I don't think...
the 15 minutes we did see him.
Yeah, I don't think it will be on the pitch. It will be more around the team. What I've seen from Neymar so far, and it's difficult to judge, but I got the impression that he is accepting his role, which is very important, being such a big name.
And does that mean putting his ego aside in a way?
Yeah,
and putting his ego to different services.
And we know how small the ego of Neymar is. But no, I get the impression that what Selena said very well, the whole stadium was waiting for it, and the Brazilians get more energy when he is there. So if he's not on the pitch, but just with the team, I get the impression that it helps them, and that's how we know Carlo Ancelotti he's a very clever people manager. Maybe not the best tactician, but he knows exactly how to motivate people and get everyone in the right direction. I don't believe that Neymar will have a lot bigger impact on the pitch, but it will be more in his role around the team.
Well, it does mean, though, that Scotland's future depends on the later results to come, with manager Steve Clarke realistic about their chances of going through. Here he is.
Poor result. You give a team like Brazil the chances that we give them the game, you expect to get punished, and that's what happened. Chances at the moment, I think we're probably going home.
Group C's other game was a real thriller as Morocco got past Haiti 4-2. The Atlas Lions, who were forced to come from behind as goalkeeper Bono's name went on the score sheet early on, but for the wrong reason. The ball bouncing off his back in the 10th minute. Two sides cancelling each other out throughout the first half, with a goal and assist from Achraf Hakimi. 2-2 at half-time as Wilson Isidore had a wonder strike for Haiti. Soufiane Rahimi and Jessim Yassine, though, came in from the bench to make it 4-2.
So Brazil finished at the top of Group C ahead of Morocco on goal difference. Both sides drew against each other before winning their other 2 games. Now Scotland will be hoping that 3 points will be enough to make it through their -3 goal difference, but it won't be doing them any favors there. And Haiti leaving without any points. More games to come today. James, talk us through them.
Plenty more games. Groups D, E, and F. Let's go through them now. Group D has the United States, who are looking to confirm their top spot with a match against already eliminated Turkey. Can they make it 3 out of 3, just like Mexico did? It would, if they finish top, see them face a third-placed team in San Francisco. And the winner of Paraguay versus Australia will take second place, as both are tied on 3 points. Now, Group E is where an upset, though, could happen. Here it is, 2 underdogs in there. Underdogs, if we can call them that, in that group. Curacao take on Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast, who could qualify in second place if they do win. And that would be the first ever time in the knockout round for the Elephants. And Ecuador versus Germany. Germany, who are qualified. But with wins, Ecuador and Curacao could go through. Ruben, do you see that happening?
Yeah, well, maybe I show a bit who I'm
with
what
the
shirt on. No, I don't see it happening, to be honest. I think that for Curacao, the draw against Ecuador was already a fantastic result. Upsets with Ecuador, for me, it would be a big upset if they were out, and it's very possible that they will get out because they only have 1 point.
Because we did expect possibly, I mean,
Ecuador was one of the proper dark horses
Mm.
of this tournament with such a strong defense. But yeah, we talk strong defense. We also see 0 goals for now. That's the issue. Against Ivory Coast, I think that they lost. It was a bit harsh, but yeah, that Curacao game from an Ecuadorian point of view, that was a big letdown. And now they have to perform against Germany, and they have no choice. They have to win it. Yeah, Germany, there's no pressure on them, so yeah.
And Germany can score goals, as we've seen.
It could be, but knowing Germany in general, they're not giving away games. So yeah, normally it would be Germany and Ivory Coast going through. For Curacao, as said, already a point against Ecuador is historical, is having the island super happy.
You'll be watching the game.
Yeah, they have nothing. They have nothing to lose. I think that everyone is already really proud of what they did. If you have nothing to lose, let's go for it.
Well, you've got another team to support also tonight in Group F, of course. Take a look at what's coming up. Tunisia are playing for pride. Can Hervé Renard squeeze a win out of them? Will they take on the Netherlands, and Japan take on Sweden? All 3 sides there can go top. Ruben, of course, you're backing the Netherlands. You've been quite pessimistic about them coming into this, but here they are in a good position. But Hervé Renard, what has he got to play for in that? I mean, he's put in a tough position. As a reminder, he came in to replace the sacked manager in the last game.
It's pride, for first and for all. I mean, for now, Tunisia has been a true disaster with Turkey. For me, the 2 teams that have been really, I mean, if you talk about the worst World Cup performances are those 2 teams. The whole country is watching if they can at least gain back a bit of pride of everyone. The issue for them is that for the Netherlands, it's very good to win the game because then they won't play Brazil, even though they have to play Morocco. But there's very much at stake in both games because
it's a tough one for both. I mean, wherever they finish.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to moan too much again, but it's strange that you know already that if you have South Africa now playing against Canada, but that we will probably have Japan against Brazil or Japan against Morocco and Netherlands against Brazil or Morocco. And those 2 teams could all play each other without losing a game. And as a reward, they play each other in the second round. For me, that's not a fair outcome of
and all to do with the 48 teams, of course, taking part in this. We're going to have to leave it there, Ruben. Sorry. I know you've got so much about the format. We're going to talk about the rest of the format in it. But just before we go, we wanted to take the time just to show you this. Some of the celebrations that have been taking place in the Argentinian camp. This was for Lionel Messi's 39th birthday. There you've got the players who've got shirts with him on, pictures of them, inscriptions as well. Everything seems to go well as they shared a cake there with 39-year-old Lionel Messi. 5 goals so far for him in the tournament. Absolutely starring for him, including that hat-trick at the beginning. But looks like good vibes there at the Albi Celeste just there. that's where we leave it. And as always, thank you, Ruben, for coming on. We'll be back. Of course, you'll be back tomorrow. I'll be away for then. Emily Boyle will be in my seat here. And we leave, of course, with a thought for fellow journalist Christophe Glaise. As always, Christophe Glaise, who remains imprisoned in Algeria for that report that he carried out on a football team in the Algerian country just over there. We'll be back tomorrow.
All right, James, thanks so much for that. Ruben, thanks to you. And thanks to you for watching our World Cup Roundup.